Welcome back everyone to the first supplemental episode for Pineleaf Plays the Rune-keeper. In the supplemental episodes we are going to go through things that I don't feel belong in the main line. Things like inventory management and sort of menial things that you will not expect to have. Maybe I'll do some crafting here, or crafting may be done offline altogether. The idea is that someone who's only interested in questing and the like doesn't have to worry about watching me do things such as inventory management. But if there's anyone who's actually interested, you could watch the supplement. Therefore, this one will be called Episode 5A because it is the first supplement after Episode 5. So therefore it will be followed by either 5B or Episode 6 depending on how long I take in doing this. Now, first thing, you'll see that just before this episode I purchased the Stone of the Tortoise because there are going to be some times where I'm not going to want to level up very fast. And also during all supplements and all offline work I'm always going to have experience disabled. Or at least I'm going to try to, because I'm sure I'm going to forget once or twice. Because the idea is that any time I earn experience is going to be while I am on an episode. So therefore I will put on my Stone of the Tortoise, and now my experience is turned off. So therefore, whenever I go through here, now it's unlikely there'll be much danger of me gaining experience while here, and while going through my inventory, but that's just to make sure. Now, I'm probably going to be wanting to get rid of some stuff, so I'll be selling off items here that I don't need. So let's see what we have here. First off, we have things like all these cloaks and the like. I suspect that these cloaks are going to be already in my vault or whatever, in my wardrobe. So if they're in my wardrobe, I'm not going to bother keeping them. I think there's a vault keeper around here. Yeah, this is the vault keeper. Fortunately, there is one up here. Let me check my wardrobe.
What do you need?
Alright, first of all, let's see. Let's see what we have cloak-wise. Yeah, we got all these helming glass cloaks and the like, so I could just dump them. This is the level 64 max experience bonus thing. We can dump that since I have a 75 in one of these packages somewhere. I will want to do the quest for these things here. I'll have to do those in the next episode. The candles, get rid of the candles, because I have the glass of Agriel. And if you got this, you really don't need this. An explanation of Rune-keeper attunement. Each skill you use will shift your attunement step by a certain amount. And steady attunement or scenario, let's see. The right side attunement meter is the green healing. Beware. Mind bent on harm is quick to heal. It's not quick to heal, and one is mending becomes slow to harm. Focusing deeply into that. Well, one of the problems is this talks about that. I also must feel to mention that there are some rare abilities that align themselves to the elemental affinity. Right. So this is rather old. I think some things are obsolete before Helm's Deep and maybe even older than that. But the idea is, of course, you attune yourself, and that's what we were doing all the time earlier there. Halberg of the Hammerhand, I already got that in there. So what I will want to do then is to open my main vault, just dump the stuff that can go into my vault into there. And that way we don't have to worry about it. Right now I'll just dump everything into main that I want. Okay, this gets sold. This gets sold. And get rid of all these cloaks. I got a ton of cloaks in here. Mounts we'll take care of in a moment. Shield of the Hammer Hand. That's a nifty little thing here. Now this is sort of a cloak that came with the Homestead thing, and that doesn't quite give me as much armor as the Harbinger's cloak, but it does give me will and vitality. It'll eventually be a little bit better than probably most of the cloaks I'll be getting. I'm going to throw it in here though now because it also has an experience boost. And right now I don't know whether I ever want to have that on or not. Armor of the Airling, I wish I could just throw that away, but I can't. I'm gonna, I know, I'll create one here that I'm going to call trash. I'm just going to put stuff that I know that I'm going to trash away into there. Because opening them up and then discarding everything individually would be, I think, a bit much even for a supplementary episode. Now this is the Armor of the Hammerhand, which is a complete cosmetic Armor of the Hammerhand set. That goes in there also. I'm pretty sure I got the Hammerhand stuff already in my wardrobe. Just type in hammer here. Yep, full set of Hammerhand there. Gift to the Outer List, which contains static level 79 cloaks and a complete cosmetic armor of the Eastman set, the Steeds of the Eastman, travel map to Hengstacer Farm, the Skirmish Soldier look-like, and Outriders token for the plus 25% on there. I'm going to open this up. The 25% token, I don't think I'm going to need this now, but I may need it later. And the idea there is, if I need it later, I could come back and pick it up. The Eastman cloaks, they're obviously going to be for later when I reach level 75. Armor of the Eastman, that's going to be trashed eventually, since I'm pretty sure I've got that already here. Yep, that's already in my wardrobe. Journeyman Writing Trade Pack. Yes, that's the main thing I wanted to make sure I had opened here. So what I just consumed, it had 4 items. I already just consumed the writing skill, so now I've got the writing skill, and now I want to add the apprentice writing, journeyman writing, and smell the roses. And smell the roses, that just means that I can turn off my writing buffs if I want to, which can be useful at times if I, well, want to smell the roses. So now let's click on all these mounts. Mount to the Eastman, mount to the Hammer. There's no reason to destroy mounts since I can just use them for, since they don't take up inventory or anything like that, I might as well just have them there just in case anytime I ever want to do anything with them. Now the wrapped whistle, I might as well just destroy that since I've got a real mount. That just gives you a 24-hour horse. When you unwrap it, 24 real-time hours are counted down, and when it runs out, you're done. Warsteed Cosmetic Set. Cosmetic sets for the Warsteed, I just click on there since they don't take up space anywhere. Well, that has some. Alright, okay, that has this as your steed in that one, alright. The Max Starter Pack, that has some tomes of experience. I usually put these into a thing called consumables. And that way, if I ever want to have an experience bonus in here, extraordinary experience, I could just call up those. Now, unfortunately, what I did is I brought those up, and I'll have to destroy those individually. I think I've got those already. Yeah, they're already in my wardrobe. I know I should have checked that before I started deleting everything. Alright. Rohirrim Elite set. Oh yes, this is another mounted combat set. Alright. 4-year gift box. I'm sure that that's already in here. Yep. And if I find out that I threw away something I didn't want to, most of the things can be recovered by using the /recover switch, /recover command, and it recovers things that cosmetic gifts that you were supposed to have. Here are some 3 keys. I always throw the keys into here. Probably won't be using keys at early levels, but when I get to a level where I think I'm going to be for a while or something like that, then I might use them. Here are some fireworks. For now I'll keep them here, but I may at a later time just throw it into the bank as to not take up the space. And then here's some running stuff. 5%, that's rather... Alright, now. Okay, we'd want to sell that. We'd want to sell that. I would probably sell all that stuff. Now that's going to be for a quest we're going to do later, so that'll be online during the main game. This map we'll be using later during the main game. These 2 items to start the crystals of remembrance, they'll go into here. We'll add I'll add these into my quick slots in buff bars. So it's unlikely that I'm going to need them, but just in case, I might as well have buff bars do its job and give me a pop-up whenever I'm in need of using one of them. So that can go up there, that can go up there. These all can be sold. The old rune stones can be sold, that can be sold. I don't need the really... Fried mushrooms is not much for a Rune-keeper. I will keep the common flax fiber simply because I'm planning on being a tailor. So I might as well keep that around. I usually throw my dyes into the consumables area. Actually, I really don't need to do those. These are probably not going to stay around very long, but just in case I need them, I'll put them here. In fact, I'll put them here for now, just in case I need to pop one. I don't feel like putting them into buff bars at the moment, though, since it's unlikely I ever will be using those. Outfitting yourselves and others, I got a quest on that right now, so leave that there. Letter commendation, I'm working on a quest involving with that. Letter from Combe, that has to do with another quest item. Gift for a Wanderer, that's the thing when I hit level 8, which I already showed you. Riddance passage for 1 hour. It's probably going to be a while before I really need that, so I'll throw that to consumables. That just gives me free use of stables for 1 hour, and it removes some restrictions that there may be on them, such as level restrictions and the like. But seeing how that I'm VIP and have rapid travel all over the place, I've very rarely ever actually used one of those things. Alright, another running boost. I probably should actually start using the running boost, but we'll see there. There's some food, tome of defense, there. Might as well keep all of that stuff. So I got a number of things to sell. And that should clear out the bulk of my inventory. Now we get to decide which mounts am I going to use. Now it's not going to matter much except for cosmetics because I did get the Journeyman Riding Pack, and Journeyman Riding Pack sets all the horse values to plus 78%. So therefore, I'm in a good state with that. I do want to have something that looks good with what I'm wearing. In this case, I'm wearing blue with some, orange, amber, yellow mixture in there. Alright, now I am going to put this goat here for when I get to Moria, but that'll be a while before I really actually need this. So here's some examples. Here we've got this is the Bree starter horse. I actually used this on some characters. And actually it seems to go pretty good with what I've got. I have a large number of redheads that don't wear helms in this game, so it really goes well with the redheads. So this is one example. Now the disadvantage of this one is that it's a slow horse, unless of course you got the Journeyman riding trait like I do. Now you start with the Easterman, for example, you see. Personally, I think the coloration will go pretty well with what I'm planning on wearing in the long run, but I don't think the green goes all that well with it. And overly armored, I think, for a Rune-keeper. And that's the problem with the number of the mounts, is that I would preferred if that was an orange instead of a red there, but the Cremello steed seems to be favored at the moment. How's that compared to the Perlino? Perlino wins. Right, and the last one we want to have a look at. So a lot of the others I'm just flying by because I know they're not going to be useful. Oh, good grief, that's overkill. Anyway, I really don't like the flags on the back of my mounts, so I think I'll stick with the Perlino mount for now, and that should do. So that takes care of the mount. It takes care of everything except for selling, which I might as well sell a few things here. Find a random person.
Hail, friend, and well met.
Yeah, let's make sure there's nothing here that I want. Oh, I want to keep the hides, of course, since I plan on being a tailor, so therefore I should keep any hides and the like. And I can sell everything else. And now my inventory looks much, much neater, and I'm only using 24 out of 90. And that puts me in a good position so I don't run out of backspace immediately when I start the epic quest, which is what we'll have for our next episode. So tune in next time when we will begin finally the epic storyline and perhaps maybe start taking our profession for crafting, though that's not going to become an emergency until I start to accumulate enough hides in which to actually be able to make something with. But until then, this is Pine Leaf Needles. May your shield protect you, and your spear never break.